How's it hanging, fellas? I'm OrosZ, and this is another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, and in today's episode, what's this? It's already lit. Yep, episode's already lit. It just started, but it's already lit. And also, I feel like I'm on a pretty good path of trying to figure out this mystery, because we have a lit light, which took me a little bit to figure out last episode. We know that the glove fell out of the next question. Alright, you know what? I should just probably fucking move on. Last episode, we deducted that the locker that Bruce Goodman supposedly opened on the video was actually open the entire time, because as you can see above the locker on the right, you can see the light is already lit. Yeah, the episode isn't already lit, it sucks ass. It's the locker that's already lit. So we have proved that this doesn't necessarily have to be Bruce Goodman, which means that it's probably not. Just someone pretending to be him. I think it's Jake Marshall pretending to be Bruce Goodman for some fucking reason. You could also see a glove falling out of the locker, meaning that probably someone jammed the glove into the lock mechanism so it didn't lock properly. So I don't know who did that. Maybe Bruce Goodman before he died. Maybe he had a hunch that he was gonna die today and he fucking set this whole thing up. Anyway, precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Mike doesn't even stand straight. Can you see that? He's like leaning to the right. Why? He might have some spine problems. He's very tall, and tall people often have problems with the spines. Because, you know, the taller you are, you don't have more fucking, what are they called? The pieces of the spine? I don't remember. Discs? I think they're called discs. I think. You don't have more fucking discs in your spine, you just simply have them further apart from each other, which means that it's very easy for you to have back problems the taller you are. So it's really not worth it being 180 like all the girls on dating apps want to be. What the fuck is wrong with me? Want to be. Happened to a friend of mine where he, for like half a year, was trying to get a date on some fucking Tinder or some shit. Every day we would assist him with fucking finding a date. Never worked once, but he did manage to talk to some girl, and he talked about some stuff with her, and I guess it was going pretty good. Until she asked him about his height, and he gave an honest answer about 76 or something, 176. And she laughed at him, and he was fucking, I guess, forever scarred, because he never recovered from it and never fucking used the dating app again. Me? I don't know why the fuck the girl I'm talking to doesn't want to talk back to me, but I don't know, she never said anything. She never asked about my height. I told her my height and she said that I'm actually pretty tall, so I was like, okay. And then I don't know what the fuck went wrong. She wouldn't tell me. Order, what's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. It's Valentine's today, that's probably why I'm keep fucking reminiscing on that shit all fucking day long. The locker wasn't locked. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When the door is shut, a sensor is triggered. And the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. I'm a fucking idiot. That's not like you, Your Honor. Can I change the language of this game somewhere in the settings? I'm just kinda curious, like, can I practice a different language by reading this entire fucking game? That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, just goes to show novice should keep their mouth shut. Man, you should always keep your mouth shut. You sound like a novice at being a judge. Sir, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Who the fuck else? I said Mr. Wright. Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. It's easy. It's not my field. I'm not an expert on fucking lock mechanisms. But I can tell how it was fucking jammed. Someone put a rubber glove in the mechanism and it didn't lock properly. I sometimes do shit like that at work. Actually, what the fuck I was doing at work today? Today's day was kind of passed by really quickly, but it was really fucking annoying. I had to polish these glass fiber plates. I just was given like a fucking huge stack of these fucking plates. I don't think by the end of the day I was even halfway through. So I already know what the fuck I'll be doing tomorrow. Polishing this shit up. And the glass fiber from polishing it up gets fucking everywhere. It gets all over the floor, all over the table, all over the chair I'm sitting on, all over fucking me. I had glass fiber all over my hands, in my fucking hair. I even felt some in my teeth. And glass fiber is fucked up, man. It's quite hazardous if you start inhaling it, like I fucking did all day. Probably fucking have destroyed lungs and shit, so that's great. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigation Bitch? Maybe something like jam the system sensor? Something jam the sensor, say? How can you jam a sensor? Put it in a jar. Actually, how do you make fucking jam? I don't know. Put fruits, mash them up with some other ingredients, and you kind of put it in a jar somewhere? There's something else that seems off, out of the place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. I fucking pointed out all the other things except for the first one. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. Yeah, I know where. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. Please point out the cause for this. You got it, Hefe. Oh, what's this? I found it. Easy shit. Please watch closely. This is a continuation of the part I showed you earlier. So the locker is already open, Blue Badger's dancing, Bruce Goodman's walking by. He looks cool. I like Bruce Goodman. Whoops. What's this? You know what, I've been playing Red Dead 1 a lot. Also today I meant to record Final Fantasy 7, because I recorded that fucking not very Valentine's themed Valentine special for Mortal Kombat 1. And fucking why does Mortal Kombat 1 weighs 130 gigabytes? That's a ridiculous fucking amount of gigabytes to weigh. It's like, it's a fighting game, I get the models are very detailed, but for fuck's sake, does it have to weigh this much? I feel like what the deal is with modern video games is that they don't really weigh this much, you know? It's just that video game developers don't bother to clean up all the files from the disk. So you have a disk with a video game, you play the game, you unlock characters and all that, you watch the cutscenes, but there's plenty on the disk that isn't accessible to you, like fucking, I don't know, just a bunch of bullshit, just a bunch, I don't know, broken animations that didn't make it to the game, cut content, like character costumes or character designs, maybe beta models of the characters, and instead of cleaning it up so the game weighs as little as possible, like it used to be the case, nowadays, I guess they don't bother to do it because if you have Mortal Kombat 1 installed, weighing this fucking much, then that means you had to uninstall 5 different games, like I fucking had to install one fucking game, meaning that I exchanged one game for 5. I exchanged 5 games for 1, that's what I meant. So now I can't play any of these other 5 games that I had on, because I want to play Mortal Kombat 1. That's the same thing Call of Duty does, you know? The less games you have installed, because Call of Duty fucking weighs so much, means that you have less of a choice of what to play at the moment. So it makes it more likely that you'll play Call of Duty. It's like a psychological manipulation type of shit. But yeah, I just recorded a video, deleted it, and I forgot to reinstall Final Fantasy VII demo, which actually weighed quite a lot. For example, Yakuza 8, Infinite Wealth, it's a fucking huge game. insanely fucking huge, but it weighs like half of what Mortal Kombat 1 does. And even with the very high detailed models, I don't fucking think it should weigh this much. I mean, fucking Infinite Wealth also has high detailed models in gameplay, so like, what's the big deal? What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. That wasn't me though. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I mean, what? I often fall out and roll great distances when I open. And Mike, can you, like, why the fuck are you even saying anything? I got this drink here, it's really fucking cool looking. It's a cyberpunk themed Oshi energy boost, lychee and jasmine flavored. Crazy fucking flavor. Never heard of a drink that's jasmine flavored. I had it before and I think it was pretty good. Now Oshi had a partnership with Witcher a while back where they made a bunch of drinks based on the elixirs you can drink in The Witcher 3. And I also think based on some of the characters, but whatever. And well, this one's based on Cyberpunk, so clearly Oshi has some partnership going on with CD Projekt Red. And CD Projekt Red only has two franchises that they fucking own: Cyberpunk and The Witcher, none of which are their original franchises. So kind of weird case, don't you think? They only work on two franchises, and none of them are original franchises. That's a bit fucking weird. Yeah, I remember that it tasted like champagne, strangely enough. Also, when I finished Cyberpunk, my playthrough, my fucking really bugged out, just miserable playthrough of Cyberpunk, at least midpoint of the game was very miserable. I remember I was really miserable in my videos, and I remember that in one episode I had such a fucking migraine I couldn't even see what the fuck I was doing in the game. My eyes just fucking completely glitched out. It's like I've been hacked in the game. Except I wasn't. I just had a fucked up migraine. And any other game was in a very buggy state because I played it on release. I know, fucking crazy. And I played it on a PS4 Slim too. So that's fucked up. And that's a fucked up combo. And by the end of it, I was like, well, it's like I played a Far Cry game, kind of. I walked around an open world, did some side quests and shit, shoot guns at people, customize my character. It felt like a very standard Western first-person RPG with guns in it, so it felt even more like that. You know, like Fallout 4 or something like that. If you played Fallout 4 or any of the Far Cry games, or I don't know, those are a good example, then you probably will have no difficulties adjusting to Cyberpunk. It's like those games, except with more things to do, I think. So, out of all these games I just listed, I think Cyberpunk is probably the best, but it does feel just like those other games. Doesn't really feel all that special when you fucking get used to the aesthetic and everything, so it doesn't really wow you anymore. We're like, wow, this aesthetic, all these cyber psychos and shit like that. Then you get used to it and you're just like, whatever, who cares? Wow, this guy's got one eye instead of normal eyes. This guy's got a robot hand, so fucking what? Everybody I fucking pass on the street in this game has a robot hand. Seems like they get robot hands just to look cool. Not actually missing limbs. What the fuck am I talking about? Oh yeah, I wanted to point out how nowadays I heard that, Cyberpunk was tweaked so much. It's like a Cyberpunk Realm Reborn kind of situation. The fuck is wrong with my leg, man? It's fucked up. I don't know. Yeah, I heard that they improved gameplay, changed how you level up and build your character. They fixed a lot of like immersion shit. I think the most recent addition they did is actually customizing cars, which I thought was a given when first playing the game, but then it turns out you can't customize cars. Also, I think customization works differently, where it doesn't actually give you any. I think clothes don't give you defense anymore, and defense is entirely dependable on your build. So you can dress however you want, and you can run around naked, I guess, and you'll have just as much defense if you wear some fucking heavy armor. So it's an aesthetic choice. So now you can play with some hot naked chick. And yeah, you can do it. I think I'll actually replay the game. Why not? I think there's a free PS5 upgrade too. So I think that's the case actually. I'm not so certain. But I don't know. I feel like Cyberpunk is still pretty fresh in my mind. Where a replay of it wouldn't really make me go like, oh yeah, that's right, this part of the game. I would have been like, yeah, I remember that. It's like yesterday. You can't be sure the item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What the fuck do you mean? Sensor triggered the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Go on. Keep telling me about these insertions. I want to insert my, full focus into this conversation. What if we had to fucking solve, like a real fucked up murder, you know, like a guy raped someone and fucking chopped them up to pieces, ate them, and it's like, it's all of a sudden just like insanely fucked up, and it's like the guy who did it is just like the sweetest guy you ever met. So I think it wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Who stuck it there though? It's interesting, because Bruce Goodman had to at one point open it himself when he was still alive. For someone to stuck a glove in there, so are you saying that he did it by accident? I can understand that the glove would get stuck on the bottom of the shelf, but to put it like that in the sensor, which is obviously on the left side of the locker door, you would have to deliberately hold it in place there and then try to shut the door. Or at least get it as shut as possible. Doing that. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of door closing, but the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. Yeah, but it's a thin rubber glove. There would need to be an insulator. Don't tell me about fucking insulators. What is this shit? Yes, an insulator or whatever. Right at the crime scene. There just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean someone who insults? I think I finally got this figured out. Yeah, this actually falls into place. The pieces are falling into place very well, actually. It's like I actually know what the fuck's going on, and edgelord's trying to fucking make me piss my pants by saying, oh, do you have a fucking... what's it called again? I forgot the word. Shit. I just said it plenty of times a second ago. Insulator. Isolator it should have been. Not in. Isolator. Isolator. And I'm like, oh well, I do have an isolator. Check this out. This will fucking make for a fine isolator. Rubber glove. Very well. Would the defense please present relevant evidence? What was this insulator? I think it should be isolator, not insulator. That's stuck in the locker door. It's the rubber glove. I found this shit in the garbage. We can't be sure this was the victim's locker. It has a tag that says something. Something? What that something might be. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. Too many S's in one sentence. It fucking ties up my tongue in a knot. And I end up fucking sounding like a dumbass. On the day of the crime, even I couldn't have opened that locker. Even I could have opened that locker. Is that not so, Officer Meekins? It would appear so, sir. Order, order, order. So are we to believe then that the victim, whom the witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgy? The defense has merely demonstrated the possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. All these things kind of pointing out to it not being Bruce Goodman, but could have still been Bruce Goodman doing all this shit. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. About what? Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. This is a fucking joke, man. If so, not very funny. Very well, begin your testimony. Did Final Fantasy VII installed? I want to know. I wanted to fucking play it and uninstall it. See, and I got 2 more days this week, so I'll record 2 more episodes of this shit, and it'll be all fun. It'll be great. And I'll fucking, you know, do the thing and stuff like that. I'll do the thing where I record games and such, and then I made a series called Gameplays and such. That was literally the first thing that came to my mind, trying to think of a name for a gameplay series that's all about gameplays of different video games. And I was like, gameplay and shit, gameplay and stuff, gameplay and such. I think gameplay and such is a good name. It's I don't know, like I could have made some kind of pun off of the word gameplay, but what pun can I make off of the word gameplay? Gameplay room, gameplay lounge, gameplay showcase. I didn't want it to be professional because I'm never professional in my videos. I'm not a professional reviewer or anything. I'm just a fucking gamer, that's it. I'm some ordinary gamer, except I'm not Indian. So I just try to come up with something that doesn't suck a dick, and that was the first thing that came to my mind. And I was like, oh, that's fine. I guess I'll stick with that. Mystery Man 2. Electric Boogaloo. Tokyo Drift. I think Tokyo Drift's the funniest subtitle ever. Not in the movie itself, but like trying to add it to different things. It's like Bible 2, Tokyo Drift. It's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. Let me see it. Mike Meekins, Bruce Goodman. Damn it, so he really did enter using his ID card. Fuck. How do I fucking prove it's not the case? When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Since the evidence room seems to be such a sacred fucking place, so guarded that there's a guard room right outside of it, you'd think that maybe an additional security measure is that only detectives can enter it, and not some mere Officer Meekins. An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. I mean, even Edgelord was allowed in. I wasn't because I don't have an ID card. But I guess prosecutors work so closely with police that Edgelord just has an ID card? Why the fuck I can't have an ID card? This fucking sucks, man. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Damn it. Just before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing that struck me as unusual, several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Retarded ones. Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on an end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. That's fucking great. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Some stabbing here and there, some cop getting shot in the street, who cares really? Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination. Cross-examination. Croissant examination. Just one thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Rock solid just as me, right now? Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give you the V for victory sign, sir. But if he just used his right hand for that? No, he's busy saluting. Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. I'm curious whether saluting this fucking long is actually crossing some kind of sign that, like... Because usually when people salute and stuff, they salute until, like, some song ends or anything. But fucking Mike seemed to have glued his hand to his forehead. So I'm actually kind of curious whether he's breaking any actual, like, police rules about saluting for too long. Not to mention, I think you should salute only to when you're speaking to, like, a superior officer or someone like that. Also when you enter a room or when you... before you speak up. So why is Mike saluting all the fucking time? To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. I don't know, that's how I saluted in the army. Is that card hanging from your neck? One of these ID cards? Got a lot of shit hanging from your neck. Yes, sir, this card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it. What if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it open like this? He's also got a lucky charm, and also I don't think you should have handcuffs in a place like this. It just seems like a stupid place to have them, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 or 3 times my ties get stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time is my ID card gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. Maybe I should have left this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. I got a feeling Mike got in on the force because his dad probably is a police officer too, and he was like, fucking enroll my son. He doesn't do much with his life. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. Let it be noted that this is the record that the witness is referring to. Let me fucking see it. Yes, that would be it, Detective Goodman. What's the matter, bitch? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. I did it. I'm the killer. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. What a piece of shit. I fucking hate this motherfucking asshole piece of goddamn fucking human trash. Is that man in the blue a murderer? That's right, he is. Don't say I don't. He'll kill you. Got the wrong color, kid. I'll fucking actually kill you. It would seem that our fucking jury is fucking stupid. Also, we got kids in the jury? The inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. Unless that wasn't a kid. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. I don't give a fuck. Straight gangsta. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, it must be so difficult for him. I couldn't give a fuck any less. At the time of the crime, detective could use his card. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he told you to fuck off. He pulled out a knife on you. Yes, sir, he didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just really likes drawing. Get it? Maybe he just panicked? Yeah, I think you're right, actually. I think you're absolutely right, Mike. Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you fucking think? I'm not thinking. I never do. Or, the problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. Ah, damn it, fucking... Phoenix said it's so obvious and I don't actually fucking know what's wrong with it. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. Think too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we got. This is one of the things. An ID card is used as record of it. And the crime detective had used his card. I captured Mike when he was closing his eyes, and he looks really retarded when he's half closing his eyes. Well... Fuck, man. Rubber glove, evidence, blah blah blah. Oh, I guess Goodman lost his ID card, I guess that's the thing. I had no idea what the lost item report was gonna be. And the scratched number is the ID number because Goodman didn't actually remember his own number by memory, so he couldn't have write it, the lost ID, the lost item report, because he had to put his ID on it, but the ID was on the lost item, so that's funny, kind of. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I don't give a shit, though. I have the victim's ID card right here, in my pants. See you fellas in the next episode, bye.